Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. And to kind of illustrate the point I want to make in today's podcast, I want to tell a story. This happened years ago now, but I was driving in Santa Monica, not too far from where we live, and we had trouble parking, and we found a parking space, and we were running a bit late for I think we were going to a comedy show or something, and as we're walking through the parking structure, I saw a guy who double parked, like he'd parked across two spots, and I got fuming mad. Like I was, what kind of people? You can't, you know, there's no responsibility. People just don't care about other people. And as I'm going through this silent rant inside my head, there was another kind of more commonsensical voice that came up and said, "What's it to you? Like, why do you care? You've already parked." And somehow in that moment, I didn't just laugh at myself, which I did for being an idiot. I get plenty of chances to do that. But I suddenly saw, oh, that's happening all the time with everyone. We spend an inordinate amount of our time raging against things that really have no impact on us directly at all. Now, we justify it. We say, well, it's the principle of it. We justify it by saying, well, you've got to care. But the effect of all those principles and all that caring is usually a lot of frustration, a lot of exhaustion, and a lot of worry. And one of the things that I sort of saw in that moment and has become clearer and clearer to me over time is we can worry about anything. Sometimes it kind of makes sense to other people what we worry about. But a lot of the time it doesn't. And some of the time it doesn't even make sense to us what we worry about. There's a great line that comes up a couple of times in the movie Bridge of Spies with Tom Hanks. And the Russian spy who's been arrested and is on trial, Tom Hanks' character is his lawyer, and he asks him, well, are you worried? And the Russian spy says, would it help? And there's an element of universality to that. We've all got that experience of getting so worked up about things that really are nothing to do with us. We get worked up about the behavior of our spouse. We get worked up about what somebody said to somebody else or even to us. We get worked up about world issues that will never, if there was not a newspaper in front of us, we would never ever have known about. I am not saying there's no value in caring about humanity and the planet. I'm saying that most of what we think of as care is just us winding ourselves up about nothing. And I'll sometimes say with a client, they'll be worked up about something, they'll be rabid about something, and I'll just ask them, well, what's it to you? Why do you care? And it's not that I'm questioning their motives. It's not that I'm telling them you're bad or wrong to care. I'm just pointing out that if peace of mind is our nature, if calm is the way we're made, it might not be the best idea to be continually looking for reasons not to feel our true nature, not to feel the way we're made, the peace and quiet that is always available underneath the noise. There's a story I heard years ago about the French actor Coquelin, who was famous for originating the role of Cyrano de Bergerac. And he was a magnificent actor by all accounts. He's sort of 19th century, so probably if we saw him, we'd find him a bit histrionic and a bit over the top, but at the time considered one of the great dramatic actors. And one day he didn't turn up at the theater. And that had never happened. He was the consummate professional. He just didn't show up, and they couldn't find him, and they finally found him sort of walking by the Seine in Paris. And you know, Coquelin, what's wrong? What's the matter? And he said, I'm just having such a beautiful day. I don't feel like upsetting myself. Now, that's us. We're so conditioned, we're so used to upsetting ourselves all the time that we don't notice that every day is a wonderful day. Every moment is a wonderful moment, is a moment filled with wonder. And so when I say, what's it to you, I'm not saying, don't care. I'm saying, maybe just see what it's like to go a day without upsetting yourself. And if you like it, you can do more of it. And the more of it you do or don't do, the more time you'll spend experiencing the natural calm and presence and stillness and peace that is just always sitting there waiting for us the moment we stop driving ourselves crazy. Have fun, learn heaps, and I'll talk with you soon.